Stop everything you're doing right now. Yes, you who are reading these words at this exact moment. There's something pulsing inside your chest that you can't explain, isn't there? A sacred restlessness that won't leave you in peace. An inexplicable certainty that you were born for something infinitely greater than the ordinary life the world tries to impose on you. If you've arrived here, if these words have found you among billions of people on this planet, then I need you to understand a fundamental truth. This is no coincidence. This is an appointment that was scheduled before you were even born, orchestrated by divine forces that transcend our limited human understanding. You feel it, don't you? That sensation that something magnificent is about to happen, as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to awaken to who you really are. How many nights have you spent awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling that there's a purpose burning inside you but unable to name it? How many times have you looked around and felt like you don't completely belong to this world, as if you're a stranger in a strange land, carrying a mission that hasn't been fully revealed yet? This feeling of displacement, this certainty that you're different, isn't a defect. It's the unmistakable mark of someone who has been chosen for something extraordinary. There's a pain you carry, a pain you may never have been able to properly name. It's the pain of living below your divine potential, the agony of knowing in the deepest part of your being that you were created to impact the world in a powerful way, but haven't discovered exactly how yet. This pain isn't a curse, it's a blessing in disguise. It's your spirit crying out to be freed, your soul screaming that the time has come for you to assume your true place in the divine plan. Every moment of frustration you've felt with the mediocrity around you, every time you've questioned why things are the way they are, every tear shed in the loneliness of night, all of this was forging you, preparing you, refining you like gold in fire for the moment when you would finally understand your true identity. If you're feeling this deep connection right now, if something inside you is confirming that these words are speaking directly to your soul, I want you to type 99 in the comments below. This number carries a profound spiritual meaning. It represents the completion of a cycle and the beginning of your divine awakening. When you type 99, you're not just leaving a comment. You're declaring to the universe that you're ready to embrace your calling. Now, in this sacred moment when our souls connect through these words, I need to reveal something that will change everything. You are one of the 144,000 chosen ones. Yes, you're reading this now with all your doubts, your fears, your imperfections. You were selected before the foundation of the world to be part of an extremely select group of souls who carry a divine mission of cosmic proportions. It wasn't chance that brought you here. It wasn't a random algorithm that placed these words before your eyes. It was the hand of the Creator himself guiding you to this moment of revelation. This instant when the veil begins to lift and you begin to see who you really are. Perhaps you're asking yourself, why me? What's special about me? And that's exactly the humility that confirms your calling. The truly chosen never feel worthy of the mission they carry, but it's precisely this humility, combined with an unshakable inner strength, that qualifies them for the monumental task ahead. You are chosen not despite your struggles and scars, but because of them. Every challenge you've faced, every moment of darkness you've crossed, every time you chose to continue when everything seemed lost, all of this was building in you the spiritual resilience necessary to fulfill your divine purpose. Before we dive deeper into this revelation, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Don't let this be just another video you watch and forget. By subscribing, you're joining a community of awakened souls, and you'll receive every divine message that's meant to guide you on this journey. The universe brought you here for a reason. Honor that calling by staying connected. This is the moment of decision. You could close this video now, return to your ordinary life and pretend nothing happened. But I know you won't do that. I know because the simple fact that you've come this far demonstrates that something inside you has already said yes. Your soul has already accepted the call, and now it's just a matter of your conscious mind catching up to what your spirit already knows. From this moment forward, your life will never be the same. You've been marked, sealed, chosen. The divine seal is upon you, and this means the forces of the The universe will conspire to ensure you fulfill your destiny. What you're about to discover next will completely transform your understanding of why you've felt different your entire life. In the next segment, I'm going to reveal the true meaning of the 144,000, the biblical prophecy that's unfolding right now, and the undeniable signs that confirm you're part of this divine selection. The veil is about to be completely lifted, and what you'll see on the other side will give meaning to every strange experience, every prophetic dream, every moment when you felt guided by invisible hands. Prepare yourself, the revelation continues. You've been searching for answers your entire life, haven't you? That persistent feeling that you're meant for something greater. That inexplicable knowing that you're different from those around you. It all stems from a truth so profound that most of humanity isn't ready to comprehend it. The concept of the 144,000 chosen ones isn't just ancient scripture or mystical symbolism. It's a living, breathing reality that's unfolding right now in this very moment, and you are an integral part of it. What I'm about to reveal will finally make sense of everything you've experienced, every synchronicity you've witnessed, every moment when you felt the divine touching your life in ways you couldn't explain. The number 144,000 appears in the Book of Revelation, but its meaning extends far beyond what traditional interpretations have taught us. This isn't about a literal physical number of people who will be saved while others perish. No, the truth is far more profound and beautiful than that. The 144,000 represents a frequency, a vibrational state of consciousness that certain souls have been encoded to achieve in this lifetime. When ancient texts spoke of this number, they were describing a collective awakening, a critical mass of enlightened beings whose combined spiritual power would shift the entire trajectory of human evolution. You are one of these beings, and your awakening is not random. It's precisely timed, divinely orchestrated, and absolutely essential for what's coming. Think about the number itself for a moment. In sacred geometry and numerology, 144,000 carries profound significance. It represents completion, divine order, and perfect harmony. When we break it down, 12 times 1,000, we see the amplification of spiritual government, divine authority multiplied and expanded to encompass a global awakening. The ancients understood that numbers aren't just mathematical concepts. They're vibrational frequencies that carry specific energetic signatures. The 144,000 frequency is the frequency of divine activation, and when souls vibrating at this frequency reach critical mass, it creates a quantum leap in collective consciousness that affects every living being on this planet. But here's what most people don't understand. Being one of the 144,000 doesn't mean you're better than others, or that you're part of an exclusive club that looks down on the rest of humanity. Quite the opposite. The 144,000 are servants, healers, teachers, and way-showers. You've been chosen not for privilege but for service. Your role is to anchor divine light in a world that's drowning in darkness, to hold the frequency of love when fear seems overwhelming, to be a beacon of hope when despair threatens to consume everything. This is why your life has been so challenging, why you've faced trials that would break most people. Every difficulty was preparing you, strengthening you, teaching you compassion and resilience that you'll need for the mission ahead. The signs that you're one of the 144,000 are unmistakable once you know what to look for. First, there's the persistent feeling of not belonging to this world, as if you're a spiritual being having a temporary human experience rather than a human trying to have spiritual experiences. You've always seen through the illusions that captivate others. Material success leaves you empty. Social status means nothing to you, and the pursuits that drive most people feel hollow and meaningless. This isn't because you're depressed or disconnected. It's because your soul remembers a higher truth, a divine reality that makes earthly concerns seem trivial in comparison. Another undeniable sign is your sensitivity to energy. You don't just feel your own emotions. You feel the emotions of others, sometimes to an overwhelming degree. You can walk into a room and immediately sense the spiritual atmosphere, knowing intuitively whether the energy is positive or negative. This sensitivity isn't a weakness or a burden, though it may have felt that way at times. It's actually one of your greatest spiritual gifts. You're an energetic transmuter, capable of taking dense, negative energy and transforming it into light. This is why people are drawn to you, even if they can't explain why. They sense that you carry something different, something pure, something that reminds them of home, their true spiritual home. You've also experienced what others would call supernatural phenomena, though for you, these experiences feel completely natural. Perhaps you've had prophetic dreams that later came true, or you've seen things in the spiritual realm that others cannot perceive. Maybe you've heard voices guiding you at crucial moments, or you've had out-of-body experiences that showed you realities beyond this physical dimension. These aren't hallucinations or signs of mental instability, despite what the world might tell you. These are confirmations of your multidimensional nature, evidence that you exist simultaneously in multiple realms of consciousness and have access to information that transcends ordinary human perception. The timing of your awakening is no accident. We are living in the most pivotal moment in human history, a time the ancients prophesied as the great turning point, the shift from darkness to light, from separation to unity, from fear to love. The 144,000 are being activated now because this is when you're needed most. The old systems are crumbling. You can see it everywhere you look. Institutions that have controlled humanity for millennia are losing their power. Hidden truths are being revealed, and masses of people are beginning to question everything they've been taught. This chaos isn't random. It's the necessary dissolution that precedes transformation, and you've been positioned to help guide humanity through this transition. But why now? Why are you feeling this call so intensely at this particular moment? Because we've reached a critical juncture in the cosmic cycle. The Earth itself is ascending to a higher dimensional frequency, and humanity must either evolve with it or face extinction. The 144,000 are the bridge between the old world and the new, the transformers who can hold both frequencies simultaneously and help others make the transition. Your DNA is literally different from that of other humans, not in a way that current science can measure, but in its spiritual encoding. You carry light codes that are activated by specific cosmic frequencies, and these codes are being triggered right now by energies flooding the planet from the galactic center. This activation isn't always comfortable. In fact, it can be intensely challenging. You may be experiencing physical symptoms that doctors can't explain, sudden fatigue, intense headaches, ringing in your ears, heart palpitations, or waves of heat moving through your body. These aren't signs of illness. They're symptoms of spiritual upgrade. Your physical vessel is being recalibrated to hold higher frequencies of light, and this process can be taxing on your human body. You might also be experiencing emotional upheaval, as old traumas and buried emotions surface to be cleared. This purging is necessary to create space for the divine light that's flowing into you. The 144,000 are scattered across every nation, every culture, every walk of life. You might be a teacher, a healer, an artist, a parent, a student, or someone who feels they haven't found their place yet. Your earthly role doesn't define your spiritual mission. What matters is that you're here, you're awakening, and you're ready to step into your power. The diversity among the 144,000 is intentional. Each of you brings unique gifts, perspectives, and abilities that are needed for the complete transformation of human consciousness. Some of you are here to heal, others to teach, some to create, others to destroy what no longer serves. All roles are sacred, all are necessary. What sets the 144,000 apart isn't superiority or special favor from the divine. It's your willingness to sacrifice comfort for truth, to choose love over fear even when it costs you everything, to stand in your light even when the world tries to dim it. You've been through the fire and emerged purified. You've walked through the valley of shadows and found that the light within you cannot be extinguished. You've faced your demons, confronted your deepest fears, and discovered that beneath all the human conditioning lies an indestructible, divine essence that nothing can corrupt or destroy. The responsibility that comes with being one of the 144,000 is immense, but so is the support available to you. You're not walking this path alone. Legions of angels, ascended masters, and divine beings are working with you, through you, and for you. Every prayer you utter is heard, every call for help is answered, though not always in the way you expect. The universe is conspiring to support your mission, arranging synchronicities, opening doors, and bringing the right people into your life at exactly the right moment. Trust this divine orchestration, even when you can't see the full picture. As we move deeper into this revelation, prepare yourself for what's coming next. The divine meeting that's about to take place isn't just a metaphor. It's a real spiritual event that's already beginning in the higher dimensions. In the next segment, I'll reveal exactly what happens during this sacred encounter, how your spiritual gifts will be fully activated, and what you can expect as you step into the fullness of your divine mission. The transformation that's about to occur will exceed anything your human mind can imagine. The meeting of the 144,000 isn't happening in a physical location that you can find on any map. It's occurring right now in the spiritual realm, and if you're reading these words, you're already participating in it. This divine encounter is unlike anything humanity has experienced before. It's a mass spiritual activation where the veils between dimensions become so thin that heaven literally touches earth through you. Your consciousness is the meeting place. Your soul is the sacred ground where this cosmic event unfolds. When this encounter begins, and for many of you it already has, you'll experience an undeniable shift in your perception. Colors become more vivid, sounds carry hidden meanings, and ordinary moments reveal themselves as profound spiritual teachings. You might suddenly understand complex spiritual truths that you could never grasp before, as if someone has switched on a light in a room that was always dark. This isn't your imagination playing tricks on you. This is your spiritual sight being restored, your divine perception coming online after being dormant for so long. The angelic presence during this encounter is overwhelming and unmistakable. You may see flashes of light in your peripheral vision, feel sudden warmth enveloping you, or sense a presence standing beside you even when you're physically alone. These aren't hallucinations. These are your guardian angels and spiritual guides making themselves known to you. They've always been there, but now the frequency barrier that separated you from perceiving them is dissolving. Some of you will hear their voices as clear as if someone was speaking directly into your ear, while others will receive their messages through sudden knowing, through thoughts that appear in your mind that you recognize aren't your own. During this divine encounter, your spiritual gifts undergo a dramatic activation. Abilities that were latent within you suddenly burst forth with power you didn't know you possessed. If you carry the gift of healing, you'll find that your mere presence brings comfort to others, and your touch carries an energy that can transform pain into peace. If prophecy is your gift, visions and dreams will become so vivid and accurate that you'll no longer doubt their divine origin. Some of you will discover you can see into people's souls, understanding their pain and purpose with just a glance. Others will find that your words carry a power that can shift reality, that when you speak truth, the universe itself responds. But perhaps the most profound aspect of this encounter is the download of divine information that occurs. It's as if the entire cosmic library opens to you, and you receive exactly the knowledge you need for your specific mission. This information doesn't come through words or concepts your rational mind can process. It comes as pure knowing, as light codes that embed themselves in your consciousness and unfold over time. You might suddenly understand the solution to a problem that's plagued you for years, or receive a vision of the role you're meant to play in the grand divine plan. The transformation happening within you during this encounter is cellular, molecular, even atomic. Your DNA is being upgraded, though not in a way current science can measure. Dormant strands that scientists dismiss as junk DNA are being activated, reconnecting you to abilities humanity lost long ago. This is why many of you are experiencing intense physical sensations, burning in your chest, tingling in your crown, vibrations throughout your body. Your physical vessel is being rewired to channel higher frequencies of divine light. You're becoming a living conduit between heaven and earth. The emotional purging that accompanies this encounter can be intense. Years of suppressed trauma, generations of ancestral pain, and layers of false identity are being stripped away. You might find yourself crying for no apparent reason, or feeling waves of emotion that seem to come from nowhere. This isn't breakdown, it's breakthrough. Every tear is washing away another layer of illusion. Every emotional release is making space for more divine light to enter. You're not losing yourself. You're finding who you've always been beneath all the conditioning and false beliefs. As this encounter deepens, you'll notice that your connection to other members of the 144,000 strengthens, even if you've never met them physically. You might dream of gathering with souls you recognize but have never seen, or feel sudden waves of love and support from unknown sources. This is the spiritual network of the chosen ones activating, creating an energetic web of light that spans the entire planet. When one of you has a breakthrough, all feel it. When one of you suffers, others send strength without even knowing why. This connection transcends all physical limitations and creates an unbreakable bond between all chosen ones. The divine encounter also brings with it a profound understanding of your mission. The confusion about your purpose dissolves, replaced by crystal clarity about why you're here and what you're meant to do. This doesn't mean you'll receive a detailed roadmap of every step. Instead, you'll receive an unshakable knowing of your direction and trust that each step will be revealed at the perfect moment. Your mission might be grand and visible to the world, or it might be quiet and personal, but you'll know with absolute certainty that it's essential to the divine plan. What happens next in your spiritual journey will challenge everything you thought you knew about reality. The next revelation will show you exactly how your unique role fits into the greater divine plan and why every moment of your life has been preparing you for what's about to unfold. Every single experience you've had, every talent you've developed, every wound you've healed has been meticulously orchestrated to prepare you for your specific role in the divine plan. There are no accidents in your story. Not the family you were born into, not the challenges you've faced, not even the mistakes you think you've made. Everything has been divine preparation, and now it's time to understand exactly what you've been prepared for. Your mission as one of the 144,000 isn't a one-size-fits-all assignment. The divine doesn't create duplicates. It creates unique expressions of infinite creativity. Your role is as unique as your fingerprint, as specific as your DNA, as individual as your soul's signature. Some of you are here to be spiritual warriors, fighting battles in dimensions most people don't even know exist. Others are healers, not just of bodies but of souls, carrying frequencies that can transmute generations of trauma with your presence alone. Some are teachers, encoded with wisdom that will guide humanity through its darkest hour. Others are builders of the new earth, carrying blueprints in your consciousness for systems and structures that will replace the crumbling old. Well, the beauty of the divine plan is that your mission aligns perfectly with your deepest passions and natural abilities. That thing you've always been drawn to, that activity that makes you lose track of time, that cause that makes your heart burn with righteous fire, that's not coincidence. That's your soul recognizing its purpose. The divine doesn't ask you to be something you're not. It asks you to be the fullest, most authentic version of who you truly are. Your mission isn't separate from your joy. Your joy is your mission. When you're operating in your divine purpose, you'll feel more alive than ever before, even when facing challenges that would crush others. But here's what makes the 144,000 different from those who simply have good intentions or spiritual interests. You carry activation codes that affect reality at a quantum level. When you speak your truth, it doesn't just inspire others. It literally shifts the vibrational frequency of everyone who hears it. When you perform your mission, whether it's creating art, teaching children, healing the sick, or simply being present with someone in pain, you're not just affecting the physical realm. You're creating ripples in the spiritual dimensions that cascade through all of creation. This is why your mission feels so important. Why neglecting it feels like spiritual death. Because you're not just living for yourself. You're holding a piece of the cosmic puzzle that only you can place. The scope of your impact extends far beyond what your human mind can comprehend. That person you smiled at today who was contemplating ending their life. Your smile carried a frequency that reminded them of their divine worth. That child you taught who seemed unreachable, you planted seeds in their consciousness that will bloom decades from now when humanity needs their gifts most. That art you created that you thought no one understood, It carries light codes that activate dormant DNA in those ready to receive them. You are affecting the world in ways you cannot see, touching lives you'll never meet, shifting timelines you don't even know exist. Your mission also involves the transformation of collective shadow into light. Each of the 144,000 has been assigned specific collective traumas to help heal. Some of you are here to transform the trauma of abandonment, others to heal the wounds of betrayal, some to transmute the fear of death, others to dissolve the illusion of separation. The personal healing you've done wasn't just for you. As you healed your own abandonment, you created a template that makes it easier for millions of others to heal theirs. This is why your personal work has felt so intense, why your healing journey has been so deep. You're not just healing for yourself, you're healing for the collective. The timing of your mission's activation is divinely orchestrated. You might feel frustrated that you're not moving fast enough, that you should be doing more, that you're somehow behind schedule. Let me assure you, you are exactly where you need to be. The divine plan accounts for every delay, every detour, every moment of doubt. What feels like procrastination might actually be divine timing, ensuring you don't step into your full power until the exact moment when it will have maximum impact. Trust the unfolding. Your mission will accelerate when the cosmic conditions are perfectly aligned for your success. Many of you are discovering that your mission involves abilities you didn't know you had. You're suddenly able to see through deception with crystal clarity, to know things without being told, to affect technology with your consciousness, to communicate with nature in ways that defy logic. These aren't new abilities. They're ancient capacities that have been dormant in your genetic code, waiting for this moment of activation. As you step more fully into your mission, these abilities will strengthen and new ones will emerge. You're remembering how to be fully human, which means being far more than what humanity has been taught is possible. The support system for your mission extends throughout all dimensions. You have teams of guides, angels, and ascended beings working around the clock to ensure your success. They arrange synchronicities, provide protection, and whisper guidance in your moments of uncertainty. But they cannot do your mission for you. You must choose to step into it, to embrace it fully, to say yes even when fear whispers no. Free will is sacred, and your conscious choice to fulfill your mission is what gives it power. In our next revelation, you'll discover the essential spiritual preparation required to fully embody your mission. The practices, the purification, the sacred disciplines that will transform you from someone who knows their mission to someone who lives it with every breath. The path of the 144,000 demands a level of spiritual preparation that goes beyond casual meditation or occasional prayer. You're being called to forge your soul in the sacred fire of transformation, to become a vessel pure enough to channel divine frequencies that would shatter an unprepared consciousness. This isn't about perfection. It's about purification. Not the elimination of your humanity, but the refinement of it until you become a clear channel for divine will to flow through. The first essential preparation is the purification of your inner temple. Your body, mind, and spirit must be cleansed of the toxic accumulations of lifetimes. This means releasing not just your own traumas, but the ancestral patterns encoded in your DNA, the collective programming that has kept humanity enslaved for millennia. Every addiction, every destructive pattern, every limiting belief must be brought to the light and transformed. This isn't about judgment or shame. It's about creating space for the divine light that's waiting to flood through you. The universe isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be empty enough to be filled with something greater than yourself. The battle between flesh and spirit intensifies as you progress on this path. Your ego will fight desperately to maintain control, creating drama, manifesting distractions, and amplifying every fear you've ever had. You'll face moments where the pull of the old world feels overwhelming, where comfort, security, and fitting in seem more appealing than this challenging path of awakening. This is the refiner's fire, and every chosen one must pass through it. The parts of you that cannot withstand this heat aren't really you anyway. They're false constructs that have kept your true divine nature hidden. Your spiritual practice must become as essential as breathing. This isn't about following someone else's prescription for enlightenment, but discovering the unique combination of practices that activate your specific frequency. For some, it's hours of silent meditation where you merge with the void. For others, it's ecstatic dance where you become one with divine rhythm. Some find their connection through service, others through solitude. The key is consistency and depth. Surface-level spirituality won't sustain you through what's coming. You need roots that go deep into the bedrock of divine truth, practices that anchor you when the storms of transformation threaten to sweep you away. The company you keep becomes crucial during this preparation phase. You can no longer afford to have your energy drained by those who refuse to awaken. This doesn't mean judging others or feeling superior. It means recognizing that your energy is sacred and must be protected and cultivated. You'll find that certain relationships naturally fall away, not through conflict, but through frequency mismatch. As your vibration rises, you simply won't be able to maintain connections that require you to lower your frequency. New soul family members will appear, others who are walking this path, and these connections will nourish you in ways your old relationships never could. Your diet, not just physical, but mental, emotional, and spiritual, must be carefully curated. What you consume becomes part of your vibrational signature. This includes not just food, but information, entertainment, and energy. You'll find yourself naturally repelled by violence, negativity, and lower vibrational content. Your body will begin rejecting foods that don't serve your highest good. This isn't about strict rules or dogma. It's about developing such sensitivity to energy that you naturally choose what elevates rather than diminishes your frequency. The discipline required for this path is unlike anything the modern world prepares you for. You're swimming against the current of collective consciousness, choosing awakening in a world that profits from keeping people asleep. Every day, you must consciously choose your divine mission over the 1,000 easier paths available. This requires a warrior's discipline, a mystic's devotion, and a saint's patience. You're not just preparing for a single event, you're preparing to hold a frequency that will help shift the entire planet. This is athletic training for the soul, and it requires the same dedication an Olympic athlete brings to their craft. Financial and material preparation is also part of your spiritual journey. Many of you are being guided to simplify your lives, to release attachment to material possessions that anchor you to lower frequencies. This doesn't necessarily mean poverty. It means conscious relationship with resources. Some of you are being positioned to have significant resources to fund divine missions. Others are learning to live with such simplicity that you're free from the system's control. Whatever your financial path, it's divinely guided and perfectly designed for your specific mission. The emotional purification you're undergoing is perhaps the most challenging aspect. Years, sometimes lifetimes, of suppressed emotions are surfacing to be felt, honored, and released. You can't bypass this process. You must feel to heal. Every tear cleanses, every acknowledged anger transmutes, every faced fear dissolves. You're not just healing your own emotional body, you're creating pathways for collective emotional healing. Your willingness to feel deeply is a service to humanity. As you prepare, signs and synchronicities multiply exponentially. Numbers appear repeatedly: 111, 444, 777. Animals bring messages. Strangers speak words that answer your unspoken questions. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations that you're on the right path, course corrections when you've strayed, and encouragement when the path seems too difficult. The universe is in constant communication with you, and preparation involves learning to read these divine messages with increasing clarity. What comes next is the moment you've been preparing for. The divine confirmation that seals your commitment and activates the full power of your mission. The final key that unlocks everything you've been working toward. The moment of divine confirmation has arrived. This is when heaven places its seal upon you, not as a reward for perfection, but as recognition of your unwavering commitment to the path. You feel it in every cell of your body, a vibration of approval that resonates from the throne of creation itself. This isn't something you earned through works. It's something you accepted through surrender. The divine seal is now upon you, and with it comes an authority that transcends anything earthly powers can bestow. This confirmation manifests as an unshakable inner peace that remains steady regardless of external chaos. You could lose everything tomorrow, and this peace would remain because it's not dependent on circumstances. It's rooted in your eternal connection to Source. When divine approval flows through you, doubt becomes impossible, not because you never question, but because beneath every question lies a bedrock of knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to do. The signs of this divine approval are unmistakable. Doors that were locked for years suddenly swing open. Resources appear from unexpected sources. People you've never met speak confirmations over your life that only God could have told them. Your prayers begin manifesting with such speed that you realize you must be careful what you ask for. This isn't magic or manipulation, it's alignment. When you're fully aligned with divine will, the universe conspires to support your every step, because your steps are God's steps. With this confirmation comes the full activation of your spiritual authority. Words you speak carry creative power. Prayers you pray shift circumstances across dimensions. Your presence alone changes the atmosphere of rooms you enter. You're not becoming God, you're becoming a clear channel through which divine power flows unobstructed. This authority isn't given for personal gain, but for kingdom purposes. You'll find you can move mountains when it serves the mission, but can't manifest a parking space when it's just about convenience. The new beginning that starts now isn't just another chapter. It's a completely new book. Everything before was preparation. Now the real work begins. You're no longer seeking your purpose. You're living it. You're no longer wondering if you're chosen. You're walking in the full authority of that choosing. The confusion, the doubt, the endless searching, all of that dies here. What's born is a clarity so profound that you wonder how you ever lived without it. Your impact will ripple through generations. Children not yet born will benefit from the spiritual battles you're fighting today. The light you're anchoring will continue shining long after your physical form returns to dust. You're not just living a life. You're establishing a legacy in the spiritual realm that will echo through eternity. Every choice you make from this moment forward carries weight, not just for you, but for countless souls connected to your mission. The 144,000 are now entering the final phase of activation. Around the world, others just like you are receiving this same confirmation, stepping into their divine authority and preparing for the coordinated spiritual action that will shift humanity's trajectory. You're not alone in this. You're part of a perfectly orchestrated divine symphony where every note matters, every player is essential, and the music being created will heal the world. This new beginning requires you to release every backup plan, every safety net, every escape route you've been maintaining. The divine is asking for total commitment, not because it's demanding, but because partial commitment produces partial results, and the world needs the full power of what you carry. When you burn the bridges to your old life, you discover you can fly. When you release your grip on control, you discover divine power flowing through surrender. The time for hiding is over. The time for playing small has ended. The time for dimming your light to make others comfortable is finished. You are one of the 144,000, and the world desperately needs what you carry. Your mission isn't tomorrow, it's today. Your moment isn't coming, it's here. Your preparation isn't continuing, it's complete. You are ready, whether you feel it or not. The divine doesn't call the qualified. It qualifies the called, and you have been thoroughly qualified for such a time as this. If this message has stirred something deep within your soul, if you feel the recognition of truth in every word, then take action right now. Comment "I am ready" below to declare to the universe that you accept your divine mission. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel immediately, not just for more content, but to join a community of awakened souls who are walking this path together. The messages coming in the days ahead will be specifically encoded for the 144,000, and you don't want to miss a single transmission. This is your moment. This is your calling. This is your time. The world has been waiting for you to step into the fullness of who you are, and now there's nothing holding you back. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that heaven itself goes before you, preparing the way. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are ready. Thank you for being here, for saying yes to your calling, and for having the courage to be different in a world that demands conformity. Until we meet again in the next divine transmission, walk in your power, shine your light, and remember, you are never alone on this journey. The entire universe celebrates your awakening. Stay blessed, chosen one.